Tammy and I had a conversation about Evelyn sleeping with. Well, that was the conversation. What seemed like an offhand remark quickly unraveled into one of the most intense, unfiltered confrontations ever witnessed on reality television. Jackie Christie had always clung to her marriage to Doug Christie like it was a diamond, untouchable and unbreakable. For years, she defended it as if it were the only thing left in her life that remained sacred amidst the chaos of reunions, gossip websites, and the unforgiving glare of reality TV cameras. Every insult thrown, every taunt, every drink tossed across the set, it never fazed her. Jackie remained steadfast, determined that no one and nothing could penetrate the fortress she built around her relationship. She believed herself untouchable, and she had convinced everyone around her, including herself, that the sanctity of her marriage was absolute. That illusion, however, was about to be shattered. The air shifted the moment Jennifer leaned forward, her eyes locking onto Jackie's with a calm yet unrelenting intensity. She didn't need to raise her voice. The words that followed were sharp enough to cut through the layers of tension that had built over years of scripted and unscripted moments on this set. "You know what you thought I was doing? You know what you're doing? Say it," Jennifer said, her tone measured but deadly precise. In that moment, Jackie's carefully constructed armor began to crack. She had always assumed she was the one in control, that no one could penetrate the world she had carefully curated around her husband. But Jennifer's calm accusation created a storm that threatened to expose every hidden truth, every secret that had been buried beneath layers of reality television facades. Evelyn Lozada sat there, the center of the storm, radiating a confidence that almost seemed impervious to the tension around her. She was with Doug, and the revelation of her presence with him in multiple cities over multiple nights hit like glass shattering against concrete. Tammy Roman, ever the provocateur, leaned back a few feet away, her grin spreading slowly across her face as if she had been anticipating this precise moment for years. "Oh, now we're talking," Tammy whispered, her voice carrying the thrill of impending chaos. The room seemed to shrink around them. Every eye was on Evelyn, every breath caught in anticipation, as if everyone present could feel the explosive nature of what was about to unfold. Jennifer didn't flinch. She had come prepared for this moment, armed with truth and evidence, and she wielded it like a weapon. As Jennifer began enumerating the cities where Evelyn had allegedly been with Doug, Vegas, Miami, New York, Jackie's composure started to crumble. Her knuckles whitened as she gripped the armrest of her chair, her jaw tight with restrained fury. Evelyn, ever the provocateur, laughed sharply and dismissively, a hint of sarcasm in every syllable. "That's cute, Jennifer," she said, trying to diffuse the tension with a smirk that barely masked her anxiety. But Jennifer pressed harder, relentless in her pursuit of truth. "Adorable. Will you actually sit here in front of Jackie Christie and pretend that you were never invited to Doug Christie's hotel?" she demanded, her words slicing through the pretense like a blade. The crowd gasped, whispers rippling through the audience as if they had just witnessed a live scandal unfold before their eyes. Tammy's grin widened, radiant in her satisfaction as the tension continued to mount. This was not a scripted moment. This was reality in its rawest, most chaotic form. Then came the evidence. Jennifer pulled out her phone and displayed crisp, undeniable images of Evelyn and Doug together, moments that were once hidden from public view. Jackie's face betrayed a storm of emotions, shock, disbelief, anger, though she tried to maintain her composure. Evelyn's confidence faltered just slightly as she realized the tide of public opinion was about to turn. The cameras may have missed it, but the room was acutely aware of the shift. Social media had already begun to buzz, the clips being shared and dissected by fans and gossip blogs. The storm wasn't just on the stage, it had erupted across the internet. The narrative of Jackie's untouchable marriage was being rewritten in real time, and Evelyn's smug confidence was being chipped away with every photographic piece of evidence presented by Jennifer. Jackie finally stood, her eyes locking on Evelyn as if daring her to defy the truth. Her voice, steady but seething with controlled rage, broke the tense silence. "If you refuse to give me the truth, I will do it myself, and you won't like the way I do it," she said, every word carrying the weight of years of betrayal and suspicion. Evelyn, however, remained cool, her lips forming a small dismissive smile. "I don't owe you an explanation," she replied, maintaining an air of superiority that only fueled the audience's fascination. The set was a powder keg of emotions, and every person in the room could feel it, producers, crew, cast, and audience alike. The explosive nature of the confrontation was palpable, and even those accustomed to reality TV drama could not deny the intensity of what was unfolding before them. Backstage, chaos reigned. Producers ran from room to room, attempting to manage a situation that was already spiraling beyond their control. Phones rang incessantly, social media feeds exploded, and gossip blogs scrambled for statements. This wasn't just a TV moment. This was a cultural event, a real-time scandal unfolding live for millions to witness. Tammy Roman, ever the instigator, leaned against a pillar, her phone capturing every angle for her live stream viewers. "Y'all, I told you the truth is right here," she said, her eyes sparkling with the thrill of being at the center of the drama. The audience was riveted, calling out Evelyn's name, shouting questions, and reacting as if they were part of a live press conference. Every heartbeat in the room seemed synchronized with the tension that continued to build on stage. Jennifer wasn't finished. She produced a crisp printed image, bold red circling the timestamp, showing Evelyn standing too close to Doug in a darkened lounge. Jackie's eyes locked on the date and location, her expression a mixture of horror and disbelief. The room erupted in whispers and murmurs, the audience unable to process the sheer audacity of the situation. Tammy muttered under her breath, shaking her head, "Messy, messy, messy." And it was exactly that. Jennifer slammed the image down with authority. "It's only one night. Do you want me to begin displaying the remaining ones?" she challenged. Jackie's voice, though steady, revealed a tremor beneath its surface. Show me everything. Because you will not only be removed from this stage, but also from this show if you are lying, Jennifer," she demanded. The tension was at its peak, the air thick with anticipation as the battle of truths reached a fever pitch. Evelyn's posture shifted, arms crossed, trying to maintain her composure. Yet the name of Doug Christie loomed over the room like a storm cloud, heavy and oppressive. Every accusation, every piece of evidence presented by Jennifer was a hammer strike against the carefully constructed image Evelyn had projected. Tammy, sensing the unraveling, leaned forward with a sly smile. "She is aware of her actions. Don't let her play you, Jackie," she whispered, her words cutting through the tension like a knife. Jackie's hands shook beneath the table, but she remained seated, shoulders squared, unwilling to concede an inch of ground to Evelyn's smug defiance. This was not just a confrontation. It was a war of control, a test of power, truth, and perception, all playing out live before an audience that couldn't look away. As the confrontation continued, Jennifer leaned closer, her words deliberate, precise. The worst wasn't even Vegas. "Evelyn, would you like to tell her about New York, or ought I to?" Jackie's eyes narrowed. "New York," she said finally, her voice low, deadly, and filled with accusation. Jennifer allowed the tension to build, each word dripping with significance. "Let's assume that Doug had a good reason for not using his phone that evening," she suggested, her tone cutting, her control of the narrative undeniable. Tammy laughed, a sound filled with anger and triumph. Evelyn's confidence wavered, but she remained on the defensive. "Jennifer, are you sure you want to do this? Because I have a lot to say about you as well. What about Tammy? What about everyone present?" she challenged, attempting to regain the upper hand. Jackie's scowl deepened. "Then, Evelyn, say it. Tell me directly," she demanded, her voice a weapon as sharp as any verbal strike thrown during the confrontation. Jennifer produced more evidence, photos, timestamps, and locations meticulously documented to leave no doubt in anyone's mind. Each new image landed like a hammer strike against Evelyn's defiance. Jackie's eyes darted between the images and Evelyn, her breathing heavy, her composure threatening to crack. The audience was in frenzy, gasping, whispering, reacting as though they were witnessing a live courtroom drama rather than a reality TV confrontation. Tammy leaned forward, almost giddy, watching her favorite scene unfold. "What's the move, Jackie? Will you allow her to sit here grinning at you?" she whispered, her voice teasing, yet filled with expectation. Jackie remained silent, standing tall, her gaze fixed on Evelyn. Evelyn swallowed hard, crossing her arms as the storm of tension continued to escalate. By morning, this exchange would dominate every gossip column, every social media feed, and every fan discussion online. The confrontation ended for the cameras, but the tension did not dissipate. Jackie muttered Doug's name under her breath as she paced across the stage, heels clicking like gunfire, each step measured, deliberate. Evelyn drifted to the far end of the stage, whispering to a producer while Tammy continued to broadcast the chaos, eyes sparkling with delight. Jennifer remained calm, drinking from a water bottle, yet her words lingered in the air like smoke. "Y'all think I'm finished?" she asked, never taking her eyes off the stage. "Oh no, I'm just getting warmed up." Backstage mayhem continued, phones rang, producers scrambled, and the story of Doug Christie, Evelyn Lozada, and Jackie Christie exploded across the internet. New York, Vegas, one man, 3 cities, 3 nights. A storm of truth, lies, and betrayal had been unleashed, and the world was watching.